It is Thursday, February 3, and this is Jury Duty. Okay. A lot of things happened. So, like, where did this episode even start? What so Miesha wins.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go here.
Well, we opened on the many alliances of Todrick.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that's where it started, right? That is where it started because that's what I want. That's what I want to start with.
Yeah. No, that was the first thing we really got into.
This concerns me greatly.
Yeah.
Okay. Too many alliances, way too fast. As soon as people start comparing notes, I think that's going to be a problem. He's aligned with so many people now that, like, you don't have anybody left to put up if you win.
He's aligned with almost everybody.
Yes. The only people that he's not aligned with was Todd and Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's a good thing. Yeah.
I think it's very risky what he's doing. But at the same time, I will say that it seems like, from what we saw in the episode, it's not like he was going around being like, "Hey, let's form this." Maybe with Carson and Shayna and who else was in that? Cynthia. But I felt like in this episode, it seemed like everybody was coming to him, being like, "I really want to work with you." Yeah.
The thing that makes me not crazy nervous about it right now is that I do remember him in last night's episode saying that he wants to model his game after like a Dan Giesling, Derek kind of vibe. So if that's the case and he kind of lets everybody else do his bidding, but he's just like kind of creeping along on the sidelines and like not really doing anything of his own, just being set up well with the people that are taking shots at each other, it could work out in his benefit if that's what he wants to do continuing.
I could agree with that. It's just since like this game is so fast paced, there's not going to be a whole lot of time for note comparison.
And I think I'd be a little more nervous if he wasn't as much of a super fan as he is. Like, he does know what he's doing to an extent, you know?
Yeah. I got even nervous like when who was talking? It was Miesha. All right, so after Chris and Sync had asked Todrick,
I love that.
Yeah, I like it too. Had asked Todrick like to work with him. And then now Miesha now says, "Oh, I want to bring look, Todrick, we're bringing Chris in to what we have." And I was like, ooh. Like these moments are a little cringy because then it's like I thought I caught Chris like make a glance like over at Todrick, like could have been my imagination. Maybe because I cringed, I saw something that wasn't there. But
well, Chris is another super fan, so it is possible that he did catch on to that. Like, I didn't catch it, but
yeah,
I was like,
I'm just so not used to having all these conversations, like just kind of out in the open of the house. It feels like, like
right. That's Carson is. Like,
oh
what
my
is
God.
this man doing? Like, I mean, really, like, stop. I thought you'd be a little bit more smart than that. I'm very surprised.
I thought so too.
Messy, just very messy.
Do you think at this point now, like because of like what we were just talking about though with Todrick setting himself up and like how he probably needs to like lay low and let other people do his bidding, like are we not going to see him be HOH for a while? I feel like it's smarter for him to not be HOH.
Oh, it's absolutely smarter for him to
right?
be
Like
HOH.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to want to be HOH, but
I feel like you can never be HOH.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a situation down the road if we're really losing, like, well, we have to lose in order for us to wrap up soon enough. We have to lose like 2 people a week. So because it's moving so fast, you might really accelerate that point where you just have to just choose.
Yeah.
You know, like that might happen so much faster than usual.
Yeah.
I did also get a little nervous, like staying in the alliance talk or whatever, because there was another moment. I can't remember specifically who was talking to who. I think it was maybe Miesha was trying to bring in Mirai to something. I don't remember. But at some point, she was talking to people like, oh, the alliance is like me, Todrick, and Mirai gave him a look of like, you just freaking told me you were not in any alliances. So like other people are kind of blowing things up a little bit. But I did make a note of like, there was that moment where we created the formation, which is like the girls and the gays mixed with like the other alliance. But they were, whoever it was saying, oh, I want to like bring in, I think it was Mirai actually saying, I want to bring in more people. And Cynthia was like, oh, well, I'm already in this other alliance with these other people. And I was like, if you were a little stealthier about this, you could have still had your big alliance and now your secret core alliance on the inside of like, these is the actual people that I'm working with. If we have to pick people off, these are the ones that we're going to do it with. But like, yeah, sure. What do you think about these people that I may or may not be working with, but I'm not telling you about it? Like she should have been a little sneakier about it.
And that's why we were kind of saying this before we got on. It's like, it seems like what I'm excited about is that it seems like they're really trying to play the game, most of them, but they just seem very sloppy, and it's understandable.
Can I also just, as a little, well, not an aside, obviously not an aside if it's still part of the active conversation, but I had like a brief thought that, do we think that it's possible that the reason why these feeds were delayed and we did not do the live move-in is that because a lot of these celebrities didn't actually know what was going on and they gave them like a crash course in like the game?
It very well could. I mean, the feeds were, from what I read, the feeds were supposed to be up after the episode last night. And then right before they were going to, they were like, oh, something happened. Check back on Friday for an update. Oops, sorry. Yeah. And everyone's like speculating why, if there's live feed issues, they'll be like, oh, feeds will be up and running soon. They're never like, oh, just check back in 2 days. Like, we'll figure it out by then.
I feel like some of this, I'm almost wondering if some of this is a little like put together.
You think some of this is scripted?
Maybe. Well, not scripted.
I mean, I would like to think, well, maybe not.
Coach, just a little.
I would like to think that like before they move in, they're getting some kind of like, this is how this works, like everybody, but maybe not, because I feel like often we see people that are coming in cold, you know?
Yeah, and like they seem to be really hitting all the right buttons here. You know, like we've got pawns, we've got a back door. All this is happening in week 1. It just seems like an awful lot. That's all.
It could be,
but it could also just be that everybody's just very excited because they force fed them Big Brother like during the week that they were just in there. Like they just
which is what I mean. In a normal season anyway, they have like a season or 2 on DVDs and Sequester that like everybody will watch while they're just waiting to move in.
Right. Yeah. That's all. Quick little thing. What do we think about this twist? There's like a reverse BB bug.
That's what I've been thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
The gala gift, huh?
The gala gift.
I don't know. I think they could have come up with something better.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, it's really going to depend on like what happens tomorrow, but I don't know about all this.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm sitting.
The intro video was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, did I miss something over the years? As if like, was this a thing that it just completely eluded me?
If it is, I did not pay attention to it even a little.
No, but can I tell you the theory?
Sure.
Tommy had a theory. This is not mine. All right, I cannot take credit for this, but I think he's right. Okay. So they said that this is supposed to be a gift for one and a curse for another, right? Mm-hmm. Tommy's idea, because he's just like, what is this Manwan? What is this Manwan? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, be quiet. Please stop talking during the show. I'm like, stop. He goes, no, it has to mean something. I'm like, please be quiet. Reversed, it's Nom Now.
Interesting.
Do we think that maybe Cynthia will get the ability to nominate somebody?
So you think there'd be a third nominee up there then?
We didn't speculate past that. We just very excited over Nom Now.
Right.
I mean,
and we left it there.
I did clock because like I feel like this is a weird thing to have included in the edit, but I did see that like when they were first saying like, oh, like you might not be safe or whatever, somebody turned to Cynthia and was like, so do you think that this means that maybe you might have like someone like speculated it and they just put it in the edit, and I was like, that's a weird thing to just
I
leave
didn't
in.
even see that. I didn't hear that.
I think it was Shayna was like, oh, like do you think maybe that means that like you're gonna have a power to do something?
Which that's a big risk too. Then even getting it, because
Yes, it is.
let's say you target someone and they're part of an alliance. It's like, yeah, the HOH nominated their people, but you specifically targeted one person on eviction night.
Right.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Maybe it could just be, maybe there's a third nominee thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not I don't know.
That's the thing. We don't know because Julie, she said at least 2 people are leaving every week.
Right, well, that's why, like, I was immediately like, well, is it going to be like a regular eviction and then, ooh, surprise, like someone just sends something home right off the bat, like someone just goes home that's like not a part of the eviction. You know what I mean?
I'm also wondering, like, what does safety, like, so if you have the bag hat on your head, you're safe for the week, but like what does the week mean? Like if there
is it a BB week, or is it like from this date to this date you can't go home no matter how many other people do?
Right, like if there are 2 HOHs in one week, are you safe for both of those? I don't.
Right.
Probably not, right? But I don't know.
No, I had the same thought.
I gave that no thought. I did not assume it was an actual week at all. I just assumed it's one eviction, but one week is far more interesting.
Especially since Julie has already said 2 people will go home a week. So does that mean you're safe for 2 evictions?
Right, because I feel like you.
That's wild.
I almost feel like you would say like, oh, you're safe for this HOH reign.
Right,
like,
you can't go home on this eviction. Yeah.
That's the way that I'm thinking of it, but I don't know. It's weird.
Wow.
I hate it. I really hate it.
I like it.
That whole intro video was happening with all like the clips from other seasons. Yeah, and I was like, what am I looking at right now? I don't like that.
I didn't like. I wasn't on board then. It wasn't until much later that I got on board.
Yeah, I think for me it was when Miesha whispered it at the end. She was like, what? Everybody went crazy.
Yeah, it's the whispering that makes it really fun.
That's the only thing that's good about it.
I did like the politics end of it. Like I do think it's fun to be picking people. I just think it's an interesting thing to make people do, knowing what you're doing and what you're giving to the person. Yeah. I did think that was fun. I just didn't really like the name until the whisper.
Well, that's very interesting. Tommy's theory though about the reversal of the letters, and
it has to be that. It has to, because otherwise, like, why did you select Mon Juan?
Yeah,
like, what is that?
Right. Like, this was clearly like, all right, we want to have someone have the ability to nominate someone now. So nom now. What is it backwards? Mon Juan. Yeah, let's go with it.
It's giving big OTEV energy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Wait, somebody had tweeted something that I ended up like retweeting. It's like really funny, like in relation to this Mon Juan thing. Oh, yeah. Said, love the phrase, because you have the power of Mon Juan being said as if it's the most normal thing in the world.
Right.
So stupid. All right, so Cynthia has the power of Mon Juan.
She does.
Good for her. Slightly disappointed that she doesn't have to wear the bag the entire time, apparently. Yeah, like that's how these little twists are supposed to go, like all our unitards and things.
Now you gotta wear a stupid costume all week.
Yeah, so you're safe and you don't even have to wear the Mon Juan hat.
Well, she had it back on for the non-ceremony later on. I saw. But...
Yeah, she did.
I didn't notice.
I just felt like it should always be on.
Right, I think so too. But when she was sitting there at that table with that bag on her head, I was like, this really does look ridiculous.
It's so bad.
I would rather the bag though than some of the other outfits they've given some of these people.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just a hat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked Casey's color wheel thing. That was actually nice.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she had that big like color clock And when it was spinning or something, she had to stay in the room or something. Remember that?
I
She had to,
don't remember that.
Yeah, she had to like stay in whatever room she was in when it started to spin. She had to stay there until it stopped spinning.
Oh,
Like that's fun, and it was colorful. Yeah,
All I remember about Casey is the peanut.
I remember that too.
the peanut was
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
costume.
I mean, my favorite, if I had to go favorites, was really also because it was mean and it really set off a lot of things. But Sam as the robot will always,
Oh god, stupid robot.
yeah, always stand like that. Really, really stands out
Oh
to me.
god, that was terrible.
That
Yeah.
is such a classic.
Yes, and it was really mean. I would have been miserable.
Oh,
Very
that one was
sad.
awful. I would have been pissed.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Miesha. Wow. Okay, so a lot happened in this last like half hour.
Mhm.
Because then Miesha was obviously not very vocal about Teddy.
Yeah.
Wanting Teddy to go up and be backdoored, and then Mariah.
Which, like, I know, like, the intention was a backdoor plan or whatever, but, like, she also was not being very slick about. Like, we saw at the end of that HOH competition where she was trying to, like, get her safety or whatever. She's like, I don't know, like, I really like Todrick. Like, I don't know what I can do for you. And she wasn't giving her an inkling of anything. And then there was a moment in this episode where, like, Teddy was saying something about, like, so am I at, like, the middle of the road or at the bottom of the road? Like, where am I on, like, your scale? And she's like, I don't know. It's like, girl, lie to her. Say something. You can't just be, I don't know what I think. I don't think anything. Sorry. I don't know.
And Teddy was like,
You are
rejected
not
again.
slick.
I don't understand. Like, am I crazy? I just don't understand why Miesha has it out for Teddy so bad. Because I feel like Misha's whole thing was like, oh yeah, I want to get the athletes, the strong people that stayed up the longest to go. And that's why she even approached Mariah.
Right.
But Teddy was one of the last people up. Teddy lasted longer than Mariah.
Well, and that's what I was confused about. It's like, well, are you trying to align with the big athletic threats or are you trying to eliminate them?
Right.
Because her reason for wanting to align with Mariah and get rid of Teddy is the same.
Right. And
Well, what it sounds like she wants to do is like align, because she already said that Todrick was going to be her number 2, and the way that she spoke to Chris and Sync, basically saying we'll align, or we'll just look at this week after week, which basically means I'm not aligned with you at all. It just means I'm going to cut you as soon as the numbers allow me to do so. So that, like, I kind of feel like she just wants these athletes to help carry her to the end, and then just let her and Toddy fight it out.
That's interesting.
Maybe.
Which.
So she's aligned, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I suppose that is really the function of all alliances, to get us to a certain point until we have to duke it out. So, like,
right, yeah.
I just feel like I like Miesha. I just feel like she's all over the place. She's like, I want a strong alliance with athletes, but Teddy's not allowed. But Chris Kirkpatrick, say he's in. Like, but you know, like,
and even Todrick was like, yeah. So we've got like Todrick was like, we've got this great like athlete alliance. I don't really know what Kirkpatrick's here. That's fine. Like,
right, and that's because I don't think he's really in, and that's why she said we'll look at it week after week. Like,
I forgot she said that.
Yeah, she's not treating that like it's a real thing. But every person that she pulls in is now a pawn.
Yeah,
that's I don't get
plan. Get on the block. I'm letting you know the plan. I'm also going to put you up. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I
really weird.
I don't get that either. Especially because I don't think it's necessary for pawns yet. Like you have, like it was brought up earlier, like Todd Bridges and Chris Kattan, easy options for the block.
Right. No one's really going to get rid of them.
Right. And let's be honest, does anybody think they're going to win the POV? Like, are they really that much of a risk? You know, like,
right.
But I mean, it doesn't matter because if they win it, they'll take themselves down anyway, and then you can still put Teddy up. Like, why are you even why are you asking people to join your alliance and then immediately saying, "But I'm going to use you as a pawn"? Like, I don't get it.
I just feel like for our first real episode, everyone's being way too free about telling everybody what their plans are. Because we saw it with Carson too. Like they're doing that whole like bag swap thing, and literally in the circle, he's like, "Yeah, so Todrick, like this is how we're gonna play this, right?" He's like, "Dude, shut up, lower your voice. What are you doing?"
Really messy. They're playing like people who just watched Big Brother for the first time, and now they're actually excited to play, and they're doing it messy.
Honestly, they probably are.
They probably are. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I also have to take back some of my sass about the logo. I kind of now like it. Like the more I look at it, because it also is kind of like throwbacky.
Mm.
So like, older Big Brother, like the way that
Mm.
Big Brother is stylized and everything. I don't know. I don't hate it anymore.
Okay.
Can I just share that because I was negative about it? So she does it. She put up Mariah and Carson. Lame.
You know, this I don't. This is so weird. This is not at all what I was expecting to be the noms.
No.
Coming
No.
into the night, like it's very bizarre.
But I mean, like again, and I just want to confirm this before I say it because I know that somebody put this in their thing that Kyle read on like the cast announcements or whatever. Who was it that said they don't want to play a Frenchie game? Was it Mariah?
It was
It was
Mariah.
Mariah.
Because if so, that's very funny because this girl played way too hard, way too fast, was making way too many alliances with everybody, like talking about other people's plans, like outing the HO. I was like, this is the most Frenchie game out of everybody that's playing right now.
I forgot all about that comment.
Like as soon as she started doing it, I was like, girl, you specifically said you wanted to do not this.
Yeah.
Ooh. And can you imagine if she actually goes home first? Because see, now if I was Miesha, okay, that's what we had to go back to. The conversation between Miesha and Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just used that to my advantage. Like, because at this point, if I was Miesha, I wouldn't even be worried about Teddy anymore. After you now told Mariah like what the plan was, and she went and spilled the beans literally immediately, I don't even understand why Teddy is even a thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, unless now Mariah becomes magically unavailable, like she won the veto or something. But otherwise, like, absolutely put her up. I mean, like, she's clearly working against you. Like, she already demonstrated that. At least Teddy has not. So even if you think she's a threat.
Yeah. I do feel a little bad for Mariah in this situation. Like, I agree that she's been sloppy running around, kind of like saying a lot of things, trying to form alliances. But I feel like she, in her mind, she was in an alliance with these people, including Teddy. She heard that Teddy was in danger, and she went back to her alliance member and just said, "You're in danger." I do think she probably, especially because I'm pretty sure that Miesha told Mariah who was in this athletes alliance, and once she said Todrick, I probably would have gone to Todrick and been like, "Hey, listen, we're both in these alliances now. Like, but one of our members is getting targeted. What should we do?" But
and that made me really nervous too for a minute. I was like, is she, because she had the power in that moment to be like, hey, she said blah, 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 blah. Just so you know, we're aligned, and so is Todrick. And Todrick didn't like try to bail you out of this. And I'm sure he didn't tell you about, like, I was like, is she going to throw Todrick under the bus now? And I was really nervous about that.
Right. Like I get Todrick was kind of like, Mariah, you're running around saying, spilling secrets. It's like, well, Todrick, you're in both of these alliances. She is not. She was just told that someone in her alliance is in danger. Like, that's kind of a natural thing to go and say, hey, I just heard that someone in our alliance is in danger. Like, so I feel like I feel a little bad for Mariah because I feel like she's been put in a bad spot, and it's not really her fault to me.
You're right. Because I'm over here talking about how she's spilling secrets, but this wasn't really. She thought she was working like for her alliance, and she kind of got smoked on that one.
Yeah.
Hi, James.
Hi.
Yeah, no, Mariah she did kind of get burned here. She did, but I don't know. I still felt like she was working against people I like, so I didn't really. I just wasn't standing. You're right.
That's why this whole thing is so it's so wild though, because she's working against people you like, but also working with them too. So like,
right, and it's really because Todrick decided
that
it was against his wishes that made me decide it was against. Oh, he didn't like it, so I didn't like it either. Yeah, and I guess it's a fair thing to say, but it's not really a fair thing to say, right? Because it's not really fair to Mariah.
Yeah, especially
girl.
I think it would have been a little.
That is a good point.
Yeah, and I think it would have been a little different if Miesha said like, "I'm targeting Teddy, and this is my thoughts on it." But like, if that conversation didn't include Miesha being like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're a pawn," like maybe she wouldn't have run to Teddy right away. Like I don't know. Especially
I guess the next question then, with that thought process, then is, do we think? So then, what do we think of Todrick's decision then to have shared that with Miesha? Like, what was that good? Was that good for his game? Does it matter for his game? What do you think about that?
I think that if
Kind of
he
unnecessary.
But I think that if he plays it off well, then this does kind of play into his, like, let everybody else duke it out with each other, and it's not my fault, and it's not my problem. Like, if he plays it off in a way of, like, because unless they're like, well, Todrick told me this, like, unless they start comparing notes about things that Todrick is saying, he can just kind of now, like, slink back and let them two duke it out, and it's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he's just got to be careful. I mean, he's in like a difficult spot, but also in a good spot because he has so many allies. But it can, I feel like with a switch, it could change.
It depends on how well he actually knows the game, you know?
Yeah. And I think, see, this celebrity cast is so funny to me because in a way, I feel like that could help him because they're not quite their heads, even if they're playing, like playing the game and trying to play hard. I feel like these people don't know the game as well, so they're not going to catch on to certain things that like super fans that have watched the show for years would catch on to, right? But I feel like because of how much these celebrities just openly talk to each other, then something could spill out. I could see it going both ways with this cast.
Uh-huh.
Well, sorry. My first thought was that, like, I kind of, like, I feel like maybe he made a mistake. I don't know. Oh my God, there's so many different ways to look at this. One freaking thing.
I know. I didn't expect for my head to be spinning this much after this.
No, certainly not after episode.
I know, so much
2.
information to get in 1 hour in the second episode of this show.
And what James is saying here is like very funny. Because like when he first said this, I was like, wait, what? I'm like, here in the future. I was like, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, right, because you're behind us. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Dangerous territory to be on this podcast.
So sorry. I feel like, okay, it builds trust with Miesha, but I also feel like he could have accomplished the same thing, like to what Gina's point, as far as like letting everybody duke it out. You could have just done that without saying anything.
Yeah.
And just kind of left your name out of it.
Yeah.
But then we've intertwined so many ways now. What happens if what happens now if Miesha finds out that Todrick knew that, or is this overthinking now? But if Miesha finds out that Todrick knew that Teddy knew, then she's not going to trust him, right? Or would she find that out? Does that make sense?
If Miesha, wait.
Okay. So when Teddy told, Teddy told Todrick that
that Mirai told her.
Oh my God!
I don't know what I want to say, but I'm getting lost.
Oh, no.
Teddy told Todrick that Miesha told Mirai that she's in trouble, right? That happened. That was the conversation between Teddy and Todrick. That she heard from Mirai that Miesha said that she was going to be back.
Teddy is in trouble.
Right? Yes. Now, what if Todrick hears that information, sits on it, doesn't say anything, and lets that play out, and then Teddy starts working against Miesha because she knew this, and now Todrick didn't tell. Misha's now going to be annoyed with Todrick for not having told her. That's what I was saying.
I understand.
Right? So unless that's just like a big overthought. And now we have James saying that he is not a Todrick fan, which honestly it was a real pang to the stomach there. And I feel like that's part of what threw me off with my thought chain there. It's like I can't understand the logic. But yeah, so that's I think Todrick could have made a mistake here. I have to say,
Yeah.
He's gonna have to be really careful, like how he plays it, because this really can go left.
I agree.
That's all. My sorted chain. But they don't know that we know.
Literally, that's what that was. I was like, I don't know what you're saying to me right now.
And I was like, no, I know we can get to this. I was like, there's a point.
I know
in
you
here
think
if
you're
I can
making
find it.
sense. I promise you aren't.
And I was
but I
getting
believe
really
you.
scared because Gina's blank face. But I was
like,
encouraged by John's excitement.
No, because I know exactly what you're feeling, because I feel like everything was so crazy in this episode tonight that like half the time that I've been talking, I'm like, I don't even know if anything.
Right. And like
makes sense.
a lot of these names are new. I don't know these people.
right.
I still need name tags. Could we play Big Brother? I could not do the regular game. I would have to do a shortened like non-celebrity but celebrity version. I couldn't do this for that. I'd cry and spiral. There's absolutely no way. If it was really fast, maybe.
I would want to play the game. I do. Really would love to be on the show.
The long form, the regular summer. Oh my!
I would. But I've told you guys my one hang up is that I do not want to share a bathroom with them.
That's fair.
It's a big hang up.
Like I think the same way, because it's like I have considered applying for this show so many times, but I'm like, if I walk into that kitchen and it's dirty one time, that's the end.
No, I would like to play it over the top.
Sure.
I'd like that. I like the speed of that. I
just don't know if I could live with that many people if they're not clean.
At least it would give us.
I would be. They would hate me. They would hate me.
I would just clean quietly. Just at least occupy some of your time. I mean, what else do you do in there?
Clean? Sure.
Actually, it might be a welcome distraction.
And clean.
Yeah, it might be a welcome distraction. Especially if you're playing in the winter.
I was just gonna say, like they were stuck inside the whole episode.
Yeah, give me a broom. I'd be mad if you took it.
Yeah,
I would just need like quiet time. So I'd be like, everybody needs to shut up for this hour. No one speak. I need it to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm down, James. I'm down. Final two all the way.
Well, it's not so secret now.
Not secret at all.
Yeah, so when I get on the show, I'll just tell people go watch episode 56.
And that is my plan.
And then give you first boot.
Yeah, very duty. And you can see my gameplay.
So good. So what do we think for tomorrow?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I guess we'll see someone. Oh, I guess we'll see a veto comp, right? We'll see somebody go home, and then I don't know after that, right? It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours. I'm hoping we see 2 people go home. I hope. I mean, it's 2 hours.
Well, so I'm hoping this gala gift has something to do with like the regular eviction happens, but now like someone else is going. Don't. I saw you getting closer to your mic. I was like, Kyle, shut up.
Honestly, it's what sold it to me. I believe that the feeds are up, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that they were supposed to be up at 10.
I from what I saw on I think it was Paramount tweeted tomorrow.
Oh.
But
well, what I had seen was
unless something's changed since then.
Of Paramount.
Oh. Then maybe there's been an update that I missed.
got news for you. It is a lie. Unless well, no, it wouldn't be. Oh yeah, maybe it's 10 o'clock their time. Is that how it works?
Well, I feel like usually feeds don't go up until after the West Coast airing.
Right, so maybe it's them.
10 p.m. West Coast.
You're literally pulling it up right now.
I just wanted to make sure. It's not there.
I feel like they're usually down until after the West Coast airing.
Right. All right. And I guess that
you can say anything.
They're up?
Yeah.
just that particular camera was not up. They're playing cards. Why do I feel like that shouldn't be allowed? Oh, just that one camera was down.
Interesting.
Oh. Yeah, the quad is fake. Maybe this is not supposed to be. Because the quad has like just 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of cheating.
Interesting.
It's like half up. Question mark.
Very interesting.
They're just okay. All right. Well, yeah, it is interesting. All right. So not a complete. It's like a half truth. Okay. All right. So for tomorrow, we don't know.
I don't know what to expect. Yeah, it really depends on whatever this gala gift thing is.
Yeah.
Right, and it's the 2 hours. I feel like who knows how they'll fill it.
Right. There's got to be something. There's got to be a double
I hope so.
or some form of 2 people going home.
Right.
Who do you want to go? Any wishes for first boot?
Well, I don't want either of the 2 people that are up there right now to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
I don't. I'd be fine if Mariah. That's fine. Like,
yeah.
well,
I mean,
I don't know. I
wouldn't
don't
be
know. I'm gonna take
upset
that
about
back.
it, but I feel like we could.
A little disappointed.
There are some boring people in the house that
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset to see going.
Right.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily be like sad to see her go. I guess
we'd
don't
be
want her to go. I'd
disappointed
rather
because
see
it
other
does
people.
look like she knows the game. So maybe we should.
Right, I'd rather see some of the people that don't know what the hell is going on. Like, because there are some people in this house that don't know where they are right now. They don't know what day it is. They don't know who they
Like
are.
Chris Kattan.
Yes.
Well, I think Chris Kattan even said, like, all these people are running around the house, right, making moves, making alliances, and at the end of the episode, you heard Chris Kattan go, like, "Wow, there's a game going on."
Yeah, guy.
And now
Yeah, my
you
guy.
know there's a game going on. And I'm like,
This
what
poor
is
man has
this?
no idea what the hell is happening.
And watch him make it to like final.
His
3.
only segment in this episode was talking about snoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did make me laugh though.
It did make me laugh. His biggest segment was him talking about snoring, and Todd's biggest segment was snoring.
Being the snorer.
Yeah. And that's sad. And that's probably because contractually they probably like promised some airtime or something. So since you're sleeping all the time, that's the best we can give is your sleep.
Ugh. Yikes.
Gross.
That's gross.
It kind of what the snoring really was gross. Like that was.
Yeah, we got snoring and we got sleep talking.
The sleep talking wasn't. That was fun. That was at least entertaining. All right, I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wrote down has nothing to do with game and it's not important. So.
Well, what is it?
No, it was just like the whole like.
Oh, you can't say that and then like just like yeah.
No,
I have something else.
I didn't know if it would be something that people felt intrigued to talk about, but this whole like Chloe conversation made me like kind of uncomfy.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
Like I know they're all reality TV people, so like they're gonna be talked about on TV at some point, but it felt like a very personal conversation to be just putting on the edit.
I mean, I guess if Lamar doesn't mind talking about it, he did say, like talking about it has been therapeutic for him.
Sure, but it still felt cringy to air it. Like not cringy that he was talking about it, but like I felt like I wasn't supposed to see it.
It was definitely weird. It definitely was weird to watch, but I if he's willing to talk about it.
It felt weird to me because like when you're doing this with celebrities, like they all sort of know each other like a little bit, like they're at least somewhat familiar, and it's like part of the reason why this conversation happened is because of that familiarity, and you're in this
everyone knows who he is, everyone knows his situation,
so like, and now you're also isolated, so like that's why this is happening, and then like we don't need to see that, especially since the feeds weren't up.
It just felt uncomfy.
Yeah, it definitely did. Although I wouldn't be surprised to hear like, a question like that or like come up in like some sort of interview. If somebody's asking him about his life.
Sure, but I feel like, I mean, I'm sure they do know about like the live feeds or whatever, but like we hear all the time, even like when regular people play Big Brother, that they like can sometimes just like forget the feeds are a thing. So they'll just like freely just like get in their element and talk about it. Like if he was comfortable just like talking with his friends about his personal feelings about his divorce or whatever, that's a very different conversation than what he would say to an interviewer on a press tour or on a talk show, and like the way that he would have phrased those responses. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It felt very personal.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I completely agree with you. I'm just I don't know, trying to look at it from the other side, I guess.
Sure.
Well, of course, that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Man,
Okay.
And James is like, "What is this?" Yeah, you wait. You wait.
Oof.
You
I
wait. You're gonna be
don't
really
like it.
excited. The Manwan, the power of Manwan.
It's growing on me.
Oh, I hate
listen,
it.
it has totally grown on me. Okay, I am a fan of the Manwan. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And it's
Ridiculous.
really good because it's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. But like, if we don't get Manwan again in like BB24, I'm writing a letter. If not several.
Several.
I think you should text the word Manwan
Oh my
to
god.
97979. And with that, I think we're out of here. I don't have anything else. I'm done. Do you have any more notes, John?
No, that was it. You know,
All right.
Yeah.
How are you affected by the spiral staircase, by the way? Do you care? I like the new steps.
I like the new staircase.
Yeah.
I do.
I forgot that was a talking point.
I do still think it, you know, I do
BB
think
Twitter
it's
has
weird.
been very upset.
I know, I
over
forgot.
All right, we have to address it.
I don't know. I think it looks nice. I'm just not used to seeing it. It's weird, but I don't think it looks bad.
I don't know why people are more upset about that, but not the loss of the nomination wheel. I'm still mourning the wheel. All right, I still miss.
No one is more upset about that than you, Kyle.
No, I don't think anyone is. I'm gonna go to change.org with this one. All right, and I'm gonna get something done. But with that, so when are we back? Monday?
I guess so. I mean, what do we got?
Yeah.
We got episode. We got
There's an episode tomorrow night, and then there's
2-hour
one
episode,
on Sunday,
and then Sunday,
Yeah.
and then one on Monday, right?
and Monday,
And Monday.
So much.
Gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I won't even be able to watch it live tomorrow. Well, neither will Gina, right? Because you're working.
No, I'll be working.
Yeah, all right. Definitely a Flarn. And Sunday, yeah, I won't be home. Yeah, so I guess Monday at 10:15, we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
It's gonna be a long ride.
All right. So I guess we'll see people then.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Okay, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we're out of here.